Hello everyone. Part 1 today is going to be an obituary. Part 2, a quick stop at our Gospel from John. And then of course, what might this mean for all of us on this 6th Sunday of our Easter season journey. I don't mean to be morbid with an obituary. Rather, I think this is a life well lived and might say something to all of us. The woman who died, her name is Sister Georgiana Close, just 73 years old, from New York. After high school, she entered the convent of the Dominican sisters, and as you would do traditionally in those days, she took her training and her habit, and then she went to work teaching in a Catholic grade school, elementary school in a parish. In the 1960s, the priest shortage was becoming obvious, and they needed help in parishes. And many Catholic sisters, nuns, left teaching apostolate and went to work in parishes as pastoral ministers. Sister Close did just that. She worked in a parish for several years, and then she went to pursue a doctorate. I want to make sure I get this correctly, okay? A doctorate in social welfare at City University of New York. Her career went on. She became the chairman of the Human Services Department at New York City College of Technology. But she also ran, for 24 years she ran a shelter where welfare mothers could come in for help. Parents who were raising their children's children could come for help. Parolees could get some classes. It was a place for counseling, a place for support, and in this article it says they had wonderful Thanksgiving dinners. Many people said about Sister Georgiana, she had one foot on the street helping the poor, and one foot making policies to help the poor. In 1993, it was a dark time for her. She and some other nuns were working in a parish helping out, and they got word and found out that some of the priests there were abusing children. She went to the diocese and told the bishop, and it wasn't well received. This is part of the horrible, dark history of our church. The ignoring these issues, covering up these issues. Here we have a Catholic nun speaking truth to power. Not an easy thing to do. Before she died, she was about to get onto a respirator, but she was on the phone speaking to friends and colleagues. Do this, do this, do that. Taking care of things. I think this was a life well lived. What do you suppose motivated her? What got her going to do all these things? Keep that thought in mind. I'll come back to it. Let's move to part 2. Our gospel today is taken from John. Just 6 verses long, but it's another one of those tongue twisters that John writes. But the verse that pops out at me is this. Jesus says, I'll send the advocate to help you. Jesus is pointing us towards Pentecost, that 50 days after Easter, when we have the gift of the Holy Spirit. So 2 things come out of there for me. 1, to help you do what? And I'm going to say to love God and love neighbor, the great commandment. And it's also evidence that Jesus is not leaving us alone. Jesus sends the Spirit to help us. Which brings me to part 3, what about us? How do we get things done? What motivates us? What keeps us going? And I suppose the plain and simple answer is it's putting one foot for the other every day, every week, every month, and soon it's years and years. But don't we know it's not always plain and simple. Sometimes we need some help. We can rely on the Holy Spirit for that help. In my own life, I've said things to people, mentioned things to people, and they come back and say it really helped them. I didn't read that in a book. I didn't learn that in a classroom. And I'm convinced the Holy Spirit was with me, and I said the right thing at the right time. And so it goes for all of us. We do not journey in faith or life alone. Jesus journeys with us. The Holy Spirit is there for help. As always, our parish staff, all the Viatorians, keep you and your families in prayer. God bless all of you.
We asked parishioners what is helping them spiritually to get through this pandemic. And here are some responses.
Hi, I'm Dale Harold. I attend St. Viator's Saturday Mass, 4 p.m. On the days I don't work. On the days I do work, I attend Sunday Mass, whichever one that I can seem to get to on Sunday. A Bible verse for comfort in this time for me would be John chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Ruben Murillo, and I attend St. Vitor's 8 o'clock Mass. Recently, the Pope said, the worldwide coronavirus pandemic is not God's judgment on humanity, but God's call on people to judge what is most important to them and to resolve to act accordingly from now on. Addressing God, the Pope said, it is not the time of your judgment, but of our judgment, a time to choose what matters and what passes away, a time to separate what is necessary from what is not. It's a time to get our lives back on track with regard to you, Lord, and to others.
This is the Mercadante family.
And the Slager family.
I'm an altar boy at 4 o'clock Mass on Saturday.
And I sing in the children's choir on Sunday Mass at 10 o'clock with Mrs. Scott. And I carry at the basket.
I'm a school teacher at St. Vitor where we're still learning during this quarantine time. We thought we would share with you our favorite thing to do during this, and that's sing.
I danced in the morning when the world was begun, and I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun, and I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. At Bethlehem I had my birth. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. I'll lead you all wherever you may be. I will lead you all in the dance, said he. I danced for the scribe and the Pharisee, but they would not dance, they wouldn't follow me. I danced for the fishermen, for James and for John. They came with me and the dance went on. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. I'll lead you all wherever you may be. I will lead you all in the dance, said he.
The Feast of Pentecost is the last weekend of May. To help us celebrate, let us know if you can translate a prayer into another language and record it for us. Also, please send a picture of you and anyone else in your household wearing red, the color of Pentecost.